In the previous episodes, we saw how space is warped, bent, and pinched. We have established that in distorted space, time slows down and other objects tend to move toward that space. We call that gravity. So what are the consequences of this on a quantum level? We start out with space that is uniform. As the electrons of this atom orbit the nucleus just as fast as they can, they are uniformly distributed. As soon as we distort space, time dilation kicks in, and as we introduce the electrons back one at a time, we notice a much different pattern. This is an extremely exaggerated scenario, but it illustrates how that when the electrons enter the more dense parts of space relative to their orbit, they travel slower than during the parts of the orbit that is in less dense space. I want to emphasize that this model is not showing that the electrons have an average shift because of gravity, but because of time dilation, the electrons traveling just as fast as they can don't progress through the denser parts of space as rapidly. What overall effect does this have on the atom? Is that effect a general movement toward the more dense space, and is that force what we call gravity? Boy, I hope the answer is yes. What about a photon? We know that a photon will change its direction into a more dense, translucent object in which the photon travels more slowly. Would we not expect the same thing when space in which the photon travels slower? Indeed, it does, and the effect is called gravitational lensing, as shown by this NASA photo. What consequences are there for a spaceship with warp engines? Introducing a single warp drive space explorer. All processes will occur faster the closer to the drive, that is, clock speed, aging, half-lives, and so on and so forth. The benefit is you could grow food for the crew really fast. Of course, the poor gardener is going to age really fast too. If you have the answers to any of the questions put forth in this episode, please share them with the world in the comments. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to my channel as it helps. Somehow.